¿Qué pasa, Mufasa? Yeah. Well, it's my thing. It's going to be my thing. You know how Peter McKinnon has. What's up, everybody? Often we get caught up in this whole realm of gear and how gear is going to make our photos better. If we just get that new camera, the new lens, the new flashes and everything, it's going to really make and improve our photography or our video, depending what you're into. However, in this video, I'm going to show you that you can still get great portraits on a budget with minimal investment on your part. If you have a camera and you have a pop-up flash, we're talking about spending less than maybe $200 for a flash setup with a backdrop, and you're going to be able to take really nice portraits. If this is something that's useful to you, this video is helpful at all, and if you're just starting out and you're kind of dabbling in photography and you want to start learning how to do some off-camera lighting, and if this video helps you, then you may want to consider liking and subscribing and maybe leaving a comment. So let's run through some of the gear that we're going to be using today. This camera I did a review on because it's really popular with YouTubers, and it's mostly for the video aspects of the camera. However, the camera also, the M50 also takes great pictures, and you can shoot in RAW, and you can get really great images. Now we're going to be using the kit lens just the way it comes straight out of the box. We're not using any special lenses. It's just going to be the Canon EOS M50. The next thing that you're going to need to purchase is this Sun Pack. It's called the Sun Pack DF 4000U. Now, you can buy this like at any of your local Best Buys or on Amazon, and they run about $60. And they don't. I think you can trigger them like wirelessly or remotely, but what we're going to use this as, we're going to use this as an optical slave, and all that optical slave means is it's going to look. This little sensor in the front of the camera or in front of the flash is going to look for a flash, any type of flash. And as soon as it senses that a flash is present, it's going to fire at whatever setting you have it at. So I'm going to show you how we do that. So now this is bringing back a lot of memories about when I first started using off-camera flash and off-camera lighting. And so I've got this little flash bracket, and it's a Bowens mount bracket. Bowens mount is basically, it's just the most common type of mount that is available and accessible for, you know, when you have strobes. It's just a mount that basically where the umbrella is attached to. However, you can buy this from Godox, and it's a softbox, and it comes with the Bowens mount speed light attachment. And you get this also on Amazon for about $60. And as always, everything's going to be linked down in the description below. I haven't used this thing in about 2 years. And you see, I'm getting all giggly because it's been a long time since I've used this, but it's $60. My very first softbox that I've ever purchased. And it comes with a mount. And basically all you're going to do here is you're just going to kind of mount it onto this backside here. It just kind of like hooks onto this little flash bracket. I remember this was kind of cumbersome to get to. There we go. And so it just mounts onto the flash bracket right, like this. What you're going to do is you're going to get your flash, and it goes, or your speed light. And it's going to go right here into this little slot. I don't recommend buying cheap light stands. I do really recommend spending money on a light stand because the cheap stands will get you through a shoot if it's indoors. But as soon as you head outdoors, if you have a wobbly stand, it's just gonna fly all over the place. So having a high quality stand is what I recommend, and spending the money. But this is a budget video, so if you don't have the money to spend on a light stand, Amazon sells really cheap light stands for photography. You can get them for like $10, $20, or you can get them in a pack of 4 or 5. Again, I don't recommend it because they are flimsy, and if you have a lot of expensive gear, and especially if you're starting to upgrade equipment, you don't want to be putting your high expensive strobes on cheap and flimsy light stands. So that little mount that we made with this little softbox, we're going to mount it here onto our light stand. So the type of portraits we're going to be doing today are these black and white. We're going to do them black and white, and I specifically told Vic to wear something white because we're going to have a black background. And we don't want the black, if she's wearing something really dark, we don't want it to kind of blend in with the background. So this backdrop, it gets pretty, as you can tell, it gets kind of big. That's what she said. So we're just so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna kind of lean this up against the wall in the back. And that's gonna serve as our background. So we have something to shoot against. We kind of don't want to be shooting against a white wall or something. And you can just easily set this up anywhere. So we've got our backdrop set up, and we're gonna turn on our speed light. Now, depending on what speed light you get, most speed lights have what's called an optical slave mode. And all optical slave, again, means is that it's gonna be looking for a flash in the environment. And as soon as it senses some type of light or some type of flash present, this speed light will fire. All we're gonna do is we get a little pop-up flash, and we're gonna fire it. You see that? Did you hear that? The flash is, this little baby flash, all you want to do, depending on what camera you have, you just want to go into your settings and put it on the most minimal power output from this pocket flash. Because this little pocket flash, the quality is not going to be that great. It's not going to do anything. The only purpose that this pop-up flash is going to serve is to trigger our actual speed light. And so you want to put this on like the lowest setting. Okay, so now that we have our light set up, we're gonna dial in our camera settings first. What we're gonna wanna do is we wanna cut out as much ambient light as possible when we take the shot. Now, since this is a cheaper speed light, it doesn't have high speed sync, I don't believe. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna dial in our camera settings first with our shutter speed, and we're only gonna keep it at 1/200th of a second. If you start to go faster on a speed light that doesn't have high speed sync, what's going to happen is that you're going to have the shutter kind of like in the middle of your frame if you go at a faster shutter speed. What we're going to do with our ISO is we're going to set it to the minimal ISO that we can possibly on. And in the case of the Canon EOS M50, it's going to be at 100. And then our last step, what we're going to do is we're going to adjust our f-stop. So with this kit lens, this is like an equivalent to a 24-70, except the f-stops change. They're not constant. And I believe zoomed in all the way to 45 degrees, it's going to be at a 6.3. So we're going to see how that looks at 6.3, 1/200th of a second. We're going to take a picture of Vic real quick. Right there. And so as you can see, it's black. So that is a good indicator that we are not having any other sources of light that is getting into our photo. So we have our optimal settings right now. So we're at shutter speed 1/200th of a second. We're at a 6.3 aperture and ISO 100. And now, and if you could see, we have lights all up in the room right now. But because of our settings, the way we set them to have pretty much the photo completely black, now we're going to start adding in light directly onto our model. And we're not contaminating this photo with the light that is here present in this building. So now we're going to pop up our flash so we can trigger the softbox, or trigger my flash here. So right now we're at 1/64th of a second. We're going to take a shot real quick and see what that light looks like now at 1/64th. So let's take a photo real quick. Alrighty. So as you can tell from that photo, there was not enough flash output. It looks relatively dark, and we're gonna need a lot more power. So I'm gonna go to maybe like 1/16th power and see how that image looks like. Alrighty, so let's take a test shot. So we're getting a little bit brighter, but we're still not bright enough. So we're probably gonna go up to maybe about 1/4 of a power and see how that image looks like. Alrighty, so now we're at 1/4 power. Let's see how this image looks like. So now that we have our light output where we want it at, we have a decent looking image. Now all our focus is to direct Victoria on the poses, positioning her head, her body certain ways, and we're gonna get some great looking images now. We're gonna adjust the light, and we're just gonna kind of run through a couple, like a minute or two for you guys, and then I'll show you what the results are from the photos that we took. And again, I'm zoomed in all the way to 70 millimeter equivalent, or on the kit lens it's 45 millimeters, and because that's going to give us the most compression. I'm not going to be shooting at a wide angle of the wide end of this kit lens. I want to shoot it at 70 millimeters or 45 millimeter on the lens. It's a 70 millimeter equivalent, and that is going to give you more flattering, more compression on the face. That tends to make the facial features look better. And so I think that's it. So let's just run through a couple of shots and see what kind of photos that I can get from this shoot. The side here, you're gonna turn towards me this way, and you're gonna arch your back, and you're gonna kind of look down over your shoulder this way, looking down a little bit more the other way. Right there, perfect. And ready, 1, 2, 3. So when you position, we can do let me know down in the comments if you want me to do a lighting tutorial on the different positions of light and how we can get different looks from just one light. But basically what we're doing here, we're going to create a butterfly light under the nose, and this is a really flat type of light, and it's good for like beauty type of photos and stuff. All right, so I want you to kind of like lean forward towards me, and you're really going to put your hands here, maybe playing with your hair or something. I like that. Do the same thing. Look at me one more time. And I like that emotion. Just kind of like keep your lips separate a little bit more. I need this mic pointing right at my face so you can hear me. All right. Lips separate. There you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is like cheap. This is cheap gear. Okay. I mean, this is like, so you can get this camera refurbished for like $300. Plus so we're looking at maybe $500, and you can have like a portable photography studio, and you can start charging. You can start charging for $300 a session here, and in 1-2 sessions you already made back your money. So just something to think about there. Let's do one here. Maybe we can do something crazy where I want you to kind of like reach out towards the camera a little bit, and just kind of hold your hand out there. There you go. And you're just gonna do like serious pose. You're gonna do. You know. All right, you're just gonna hold it out like. Your eyes are closed on the last one.
I'm sorry.
That's forward. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Cool. So as you can see, you can get a lot of great looking images on a budget. You don't need a lot of money to get into photography, especially if you want to start dabbling into off-camera lighting. Photography is all about lighting. If you can nail your lighting, you're gonna have great images. Doesn't matter what type of camera you're using. I've seen great images taken on film cameras that are 100 years old, and great images also on the top of the line gear. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.